Hi everyone, just touching base. Right now to us it does seem like the light at the end of the tunnel. We can see it, at least we hope. When Lee became completely vaccinated, he was eligible for the vaccine before I was. He was the lucky one that got to make the trip down to La Brisa and take care of a couple projects. He's now home. I am completely vaccinated now. We have a couple commitments, and we plan to head down to La Brisa mid-July or so. Bottom line is we have stayed safe and healthy. We've, at least for me, seems like for me, I've felt like I've been in limbo, but we've accomplished projects and we've had fun along the way.
Well, you didn't see any videos of us sailing this summer because we didn't. We got trapped making too many commitments and life intervened. Now I'm really excited because we are taking some concrete steps to get back to the boat, albeit in a strange way.
Our time here in the U.S. during COVID was an odd time for us. We spent a lot of time with our oldest daughter and her husband in the Bay Area, and we like to think we helped the local economy by sampling takeout from restaurants closed to regular dining. Together, we began a home project, like a lot of Americans during this time. We began transforming a musty garage space under the front stairs into a wine cave. While one normally doesn't store wine in a garage, in this case, it was the perfect area, as part of it is below ground and the temperature in the San Francisco area stays cool year-round. Lee and I installed a drywall ceiling. We sanded and repaired the boards lining the space. Special seismic paneling was added to the outer wall. Lee and Greg constructed a bench to support the future wine rack shelving. The redwood shelving pieces arrived unassembled, and it took Jessica and me almost a week to stain and poly each piece. Here, Lee and Jessica are assembling the shelving pieces. Before the shelves went in, the floor was sealed with a waterproof barrier coat, and Greg laid cheap tile under the stairs. The substrate is uneven, varying in some places a few inches from side to side. Jessica chose penny tiles to conform to the surface, rather than having larger tiles which might crack under pressure due to the unevenness. The shelving was installed, and we had a celebratory drink, toasting Jessica and her vision. This project was accomplished over a period of several months when we would periodically visit.
It was in early November. Our mechanic told us our faithful truck was on its last legs. We really enjoyed our truck camping last summer, but found we wanted just a little bit more interior room during inclement weather. We thought a van would fill the bill. We began looking for vans we could camp in, and in February we made a trip to Astoria, Oregon, to purchase a used Ford Transit van. On the return trip, we detoured to Bend, Oregon, to visit our sailing friends, Patty and Kuzi. The previous owner of the van had started to build it out, installing a roof vent, solar panels, flooring, a bed platform, and cubbies. But he had grown tired of the amount of time he was having to devote to complete the build. We inherited a lot of goodies that he had purchased in anticipation of completing the build. A Victron solar controller and also an inverter,
a Stirling charger that charges off the alternator, lithium-ion batteries, and several other items that would all need to be installed. Right up our alley. It was almost like a boat project, and it did take a lot of time. We decided on a white cabinet interior, hoping to keep the inside bright and airy. Lee wasn't sure about our carpentry skills and decided to purchase the kitchen cabinets. That did speed up the process. Lee was in his element, figuring out how he wanted to route the electrical and run the wiring. He had fun with the light switches. I love this capacitor switch on the side of the cabinet. The rear overhead lights have a dimmer which can be reached from the bed. I went to work with a borrowed sewing machine. The queen-size mattress from the truck was too wide and long and had to be cut down. I also constructed a privacy curtain from an old shower curtain liner, made shades for the windows, and upholstered the cover over the composting toilet. We chose to go with the same brand of composting toilet we have in the boat, as it has worked well for us. We soon discovered there are no straight walls in this van, and we upholstered boards padded with Reflectix insulation and covered with naga hide, which were mounted where possible. It also helped with sound deadening, and we experimented using bow clips. The jury is still out on that. It did not hold our large panel. I think we used too few of the clips. We ended up using 2 visible bolts to help support that panel. The clips have worked great on smaller panels, but we will see how they stand up to the vibration of the road. The van continues to be a work in progress, but we paused this summer for a cross-country trip to help our youngest daughter move. The trip served to fine-tune some remaining issues, and there are still a couple of items yet to be finished, such as the overhead cabinet here, and possibly some more upholstered panels. We are still experimenting with our setup under the sink, trying to keep it simple, using a foot pump to pump water from a jerry can, and having the sink drain into a bucket. However, it's time to move on, and it's with a lot of excitement we once again find ourselves packing up the house, turning it over to a local realtor to manage the rental while we hit the road. Just a few days ago, we weren't sure where we would be going. Tropical storm Nora morphed into a hurricane and appeared to have La Paz in her sights. It was a couple of sleepless nights for me, but lucky for us, the track moved further east, and Luis Cosio in La Paz made sure La Brisa fared well. So, rather than head down to more heat, we have decided to head somewhere cooler, specifically to see John and Christy in Alaska, whom you have met in the Sailboat Cove videos. In October, we return and head south. I will make a video or 2 of our Alaskan adventures, and of course, you will hear more once we return to the Sea of Cortez. I hope you all have fared well during our video hiatus, and we look forward to resuming contact with the wider world. So, until then,